So you shall have no other gods before me. This one's going to get a little controversial. What is a god? Okay, you guys remember this one from the fourth lesson. The Messiah said, "You are gods." And the scripture cannot be broken. He was quoting Psalm 82:6, where it says, "Ye are gods, Elohims." God called certain men gods. Elohim is the Hebrew word for God. This is the Strong's Dictionary. It says, gods in the ordinary sense, but specifically used of the supreme God, occasionally applied to magistrates and judges. It is also used sometimes to refer to rulers. Here they are. When he mentioned the rulers of Israel, he called them Elohims, the judges. They were gods. It's not translated as gods, but that's the same word. Same thing here. The judges, Elohims. The rulers are gods. Little g gods. Thou shalt not revile the gods, Elohim, nor curse the rulers of thy people. Pharaoh was considered a god. If you look in secular history, Pharaoh was a god. Caesar was a god. That was in their title. They were called gods. Here's all the rulers of nations that called themselves gods. And what you'll find out, every single one did. Just about every ruler in ancient times, they were considered the gods of their nations, of their people. So when you see the word God in the scripture, it's not talking about what we think of it as today. It's talking about a real person. So the conclusion, all gods, they're sovereigns. That means they have an authority over a jurisdiction. The king's province. It's an authority is all it is. The king's provinces, they're sovereign. Governors that were over every province. That's what a sovereign is. They have a jurisdiction. Okay? All gods write laws. So they're sovereigns who write laws. They commanded. Nebuchadnezzar the king commanded and made new statutes. Okay, the king's scribes called on the 13th day of the month. In the name of King Answereth was it written and sealed, seal. The word seal is kind of important here for the next slide especially. But it's sealed with the king's ring. So God's write laws and they're sovereigns. In every promise, the king's commandment and his decree, for the writing which is written in the king's name and sealed with the king's ring, may no man reverse. We do this same stuff today. We just change the words. Okay? They are your protectors in whom you trust. That's what the scripture calls it. Who are today's gods? California is a sovereign and has a legislature. That's the gods of America. We have 50 of them. And there's a head god. The United States is a sovereign and has a legislature. That's what the scripture is talking about when it says gods. Today's gods are still the rulers of nations. We try to religiousize them and we don't understand what the scripture is really talking about.